Hello viewers and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Conquest video production. My name is Mitch and I am the Hive Tyrant. Today I'm glad to present you with a reading of the 6th and final installment of our Planetfall cycle narrative, The Fall of Sacaellum. This is the story insert included within the war pack The Final Gambit, and it's the 6th of a series of short stories which together compose a background narrative for Conquest LCG. So be sure to let me know in the comments what you think of the 6th chapter of our ongoing story, and please share your initial assessment and first impressions of our overarching plot. But with our premise aside, I hope you enjoy The Fall of Sacaellum. The grinding sound of stone against stone echoed through the crypts of the Cathedral of St. Camilla as Chaplain Mavros of the Black Templars helped his squad push open the massive door that lay at the center of the burial complex. Engraved upon the door was the personal heraldry of St. Camilla herself, and would have normally taken 30 men to move. But with the strength of 10 Space Marines behind it, the door slid aside easily. A clicking noise rang out as the door locked into place, and a series of sconces roared to life inside the now open crypt.
"Come now, my brothers, our time grows short,"
Mavros uttered as he strode ahead into the dancing shadows cast by the flame, his retinue following closely behind him. The Black Templars walked down the long hallway of the crypt, glancing only briefly at the dark obsidian walls inscribed with countless holy scriptures praising the glory of the Emperor. The hall opened into a large room lined with pillars and decorated with skulls and the imperial aquila. In the center of the room, a white stone sarcophagus covered in gold leaf was bathed in light from a skylight above. Mavros motioned for his brothers to halt and walked forward to the edge of the light, where he dropped to one knee and began to chant one of his chapter's ancient vows.
"Lead us from death to victory, from falsehood to truth. Lead us from despair to hope, from faith to slaughter. Lead us to his strength and an eternity of war. Let his wrath fill our hearts. Death, war, and blood, in vengeance serve the Emperor and the name of Dorn." As the chant reached its peak, the lid of the sarcophagus slid apart, and from within its depths rose an obsidian altar. Displayed atop the altar was an ornate gilded skull, shimmering in the light pouring down from above the tomb. Upon seeing the skull, the other Space Marines dropped to a single knee and bowed their heads in reverence. As the echoes of the chant faded from the chamber, Mavros rose to his feet and strode purposefully to the altar, clasping his hand onto the skull before raising it above his head in triumph. As his Marines let forth a cheering roar, a piercing wail cut through the sanctity of the crypt. Behind the Black Templars, a tear in the fabric of reality twisted open, and from that tear a squad of Eldar warp spiders poured forth, and immediately attacked, their death spinners ripping two of the Marines apart in seconds. "The relic cannot fall into their hands. No pity, no remorse, no fear."
Mavros shouted and drew his Crozius Arcanum from its place at his side, the weapon crackling with energy. Another portal formed behind Mavros, and from it an Eldar autarch dashed toward the chaplain, slashing her power sword at him with the speed of a striking serpent. However, the sword struck an invisible field of force that surrounded Mavros, causing a shower of sparks to fly into the air with a blinding flash of light. Mavros struck back against the threat with a powerful swing of his Crozius Arcanum, a crackling wave of lightning following in its wake. The autarch nimbly dodged this attack by slipping underneath its reach and dove for the skull clutched in Mavros's other hand. Despite his superhuman agility, Mavros could not match the Eldar's speed. The skull was torn from his grasp, and the Eldar dropped to the ground beyond his reach. Taking his weapon up with both hands, Mavros leapt into the air and brought his Crozius Arcanum crashing down onto the floor, into an explosion of shrapnel and dust. The room fell silent, and a cloud of dust filled the chamber, blocking the combatants' vision. The remaining Black Templar shifted about, expecting an attack to come at any moment.
"Show yourself!"
Mavros snarled into the haze, but when dust cleared, no sign of the Eldar warriors remained. Even their dead had vanished without a trace. As he realized the relic was gone, Mavros activated his Voxcaster and began yelling orders to the strike cruiser that lay in orbit high above the planet.
"The relic has been compromised. Commence orbital bombardment on our position. They cannot be allowed to escape."
Mavros turned to his squad a moment later and barked,
"Grab our fallen brothers. Nothing remains for us here."
With that final order, he led his troops out of the crypt and through the cathedral, back to their Thunderhawk as bombs fell from the sky all around them. High above the planet, an Eldar vampire raider fled toward the darkness of space, while the surface of Sacaellum burned with the fires of war. So, there you are. That was the fall of Sacaellum, the sixth and final chapter in the overall Planetfall cycle narrative. What did you think about the story, and what do you think about the overall plot of Conquest LCG thus far? Also, what would you like to see done with future narrative elements for this living card game? Be sure to let me know in the comments, but as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. If you are already subscribed, I humbly encourage you to share this video, because more people being exposed to Conquest means more people may give the game a try, continue to grow our community, and it keep sending a message to Fantasy Flight Games, telling them to continue to develop and support this fantastic product. If you ever want to get in touch with me, I'm on Twitter, I'm also on Facebook, and if you ever have any inclination or desire whatsoever to help support the Hive Tyrant, I would be deeply appreciative, humbled, and flattered were you to make a small monthly contribution to my Patreon. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and once again, be sure to check back in again soon for much more living card game content to come.